Hola, everybody. How are you? Quickly, while you're watching this, if you can right now, if you're watching it on YouTube, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, the Pat Oates YouTube channel. You'll get this show, my other version of the Pat Oates podcast, and my POS podcast as well, and a bunch of other content. Please subscribe. The little bell thing, you hit that, and it'll let you know, here comes the show. And sometimes I premiere shows. Either way, subscribe, support. Thank you. Also, if you really want to support, then go to the Pat Oates podcast Patreon. Go to Patreon, put in Pat Oates podcast, and boom, there you are. For as little as $3 or more, whatever you want to do, you donate to the show. Help me live. Help me put on comedy. Help me entertain you. Support the show you love. Get content before anyone else does. Bonus shows, things like that. Thank you, and you're welcome. Doing something a little different now. Today is November 30th, and I'm going to try as much as I can. I'm not going to promise every day, but try every day to put some kind of content out where I cover one or two trending topics. Now, there still will be the Pat Oates podcast where I have a guest. This week, I'm going to have Chad Zumach on with me, and I'm very excited to speak with him. Very funny comic. Florida's greatest comedian, quote-unquote type deal. But, which I've had Chad on before. He's great. But I'm going to also start doing this to get more content out there, and also just because why not? I like chatting. You like listening. Let's do this. Now, first of all, if you're hearing any noise in the background, for some reason, Mexicans decided to start leaf blowing the church across the street. And I'm doing this at like 7:30, 8 in the morning. So, Mexicans, I know you're out there and always doing stuff, but take it easy. No one can go to church right now. COVID has stopped that. You don't need to blow the leaves. And if you're going to do it, cross the street and do my fucking leaves. All right? Anyway, number one trending this week, Sarah Fuller. If you're not familiar with the story yet, now you will be. Sarah Fuller is a football player, yes, a lady, who is now a football player for Vanderbilt, the college in SEC, Southeastern Conference. She's the first female ever to play in a Power 5 football program. I don't know what that meant. I used to follow college football all the time when I was younger, and I stopped following it for a while. They've changed the names of conferences and divisions. Power 5 just means major college football. She's the first female player ever to play in a major college football game. She was a kicker. She kicked off in the second half. A lot of people are saying it's a shitty kick and she sucks. They've said right away that it was a squib kick. It was a directional kick. They worked on that all week. I don't know if they're covering for her. Who cares? I mean, she had an accomplishment, great, and it's a big deal to a lot of people. Females are losing their minds. People are very proud. I guess in a year where the world's ending and they're not even sure if they should be playing football or having contact sports because some people are afraid of the pandemic and some people are like, stop it, there's no pandemic. To have a good feel-good story come out of it is a way to get people to watch, I guess, more than anything else. She kicked the ball in football in the South. I don't care. I'm sorry, I don't. I should. Maybe I should. Maybe I should. First of all, people are like, wow, down South, real progressive. Down south, they will tolerate things they hate if it entertains them. Think about how many black people play in the SEC, Alabama, Tennessee, Auburn, Georgia. They're not fans of the African Americans. I don't know if you know that. I don't know if you've read any history books, but they're not big fans. So, but what they do, their football teams, chock full of them. Because why? Because they're good at football, good at basketball, good at sports. So, of course, and they're also like, women should stay inside. Women should be in the house barefoot and pregnant. Unless that barefoot can kick, because then hell, man, we got to win the championship this year. We got to win the SEC. We got to move out. Let's get that girl in there. I mean, yes, COVID made this happen. It's not like she was going to be on the team. Enough people had to be quarantined or taken off the team because of high-risk contact because the college rules are so crazy. I mean, the sports rules are so crazy. The Denver Broncos this weekend played without an NFL quarterback. All four quarterbacks were in contact with each other and had COVID, so therefore could not play. And in a professional sport, they had to have a wide receiver and a running back be the quarterbacks for the team because people are afraid of someone having the cold or the flu. These football players have always played with hangovers and the guilt of rape and whatever other things they play with all the time. They get diseases, they get sickness, they get all kinds of crap. They're doing steroids, doing drugs. But COVID, watch out. Don't tackle me with COVID. And I know, I shouldn't take it lightly. And should focus on the story. And you're right, we should focus on the story. The story is they ran out of everyone else to kick, and they got a soccer player to kick. That's what they did. They went to a soccer team, which I guess means that the men's soccer team sucks. Because you think you'd go there first. And they had no one who could kick. But I guess if they're going to do that, they're like, well, what's the big story? We can go to the men's soccer team, but no one cares. Let's try the female soccer team. Let's see if she can kick. And she kicked it. And maybe she'll play again. She didn't try a field goal or anything. They said she was practicing some, not from far away, but I don't know. I know some soccer players that can kick a ball. Kicking a ball isn't a big fucking deal. And a lot of people can't do it because they've practiced real things their entire lives. If you practice something stupid a lot, you'll be good at it. Like people that can hula hoop. If you can hula hoop really good for you. But the reason most people can't is because nobody gives a fuck about hula hooping. I don't give a fuck about kicking a ball, so I've never worked on kicking a ball. When I was younger, I tried it a couple times and went, I'd rather play. I'd rather play and throw and have fun than just kick. I'm not a rocket, I'm a man. And that's what I did. But now Sarah is a woman, and she did it. And a real woman. By the way, real woman, not like identifying, really a dude, being a lady. Not that story that 2020 is giving me enough of. This is an actual lady person playing a sport that was mostly predominantly for men. And I'm going to say this. Good for you, Sarah Fuller. But the people that are making this story, the thing they always do, the same thing they're doing with Kamala Harris and all that, is like when someone accomplishes something, they say that now it's a message for all those type of people. So now they're saying, Kamala Harris, since you're vice president, Sarah Fuller, since now you're a kicker, all little girls know that they can be this. No, they can't. What happened to special? What happened to being special? Sarah Fuller is special. Yes, I made some jokes, but she's a good enough kicker. We're a college football team in a major program, in a game that matters, trusted this person to kick because she could do the job. That's the thing. When people say you should give everyone, females should get all opportunities. No, special people that are good at their thing should get the opportunities when they're good at it. That is the correct answer. People, you shouldn't give someone a job because they're black and you feel bad, or they're white and you feel bad, or they're a lady, or they're a whatever thing, or a midget, or whatever. No, you get the most qualified person the opportunities to rise to the occasion. That's who should always get jobs. Now, we don't always do that. I understand that. That's where the racism thing comes from. But you don't just turn around and go, everybody can do it. Sarah Fuller did it. It doesn't mean that now everyone can do it. Most women couldn't. Okay? You know how scary that is? She's there to kick. It's a kickoff. It wasn't an extra point. It wasn't afterwards where they're going to kind of come at her and the linemen are going to block. On a kickoff, if that went wrong, if you watched the game this week, Oklahoma State, on a fucking the onside kick trying to surprise the other team, when they kicked it, one of the guys caught it 10 yards away and burst up the middle and scored a touchdown. Now, the blocking was intense. The kicker got knocked down. Sarah could have got her ass fucking knocked down. You know what I mean? She could have got drilled right away. So she had to be ready. She's not taking a hit in soccer. She's a goalie in soccer. Yeah, you could, no, Pat, there's contact there. Oh, fuck you. I've watched it. I've seen the Europeans flop and do the LeBron James. They're not taking hits the same way. She's never probably worn a helmet before. And she had to wear, there was a lot of things this person had to do. You can't just now say a message to all women, they can all do it. You can't just say, because Kamala Harris rose through all these things and dealt with people yelling hate. And I'm not a huge Kamala Harris fan, but she rose to the occasion and moved on and became something that no one else ever has. And just to say now, because she did it, everybody fucking can, is an insult to the person that does it. I'm going to make it to a personal level. I don't know why, but most of my life, whenever I've accomplished anything, people see me accomplish it and go, oh, well, if he can do it, they're letting him do it, then anybody can. When I used to get booked, when I first started doing comedy shows and clubs started booking me, I know there were local comedians in my area who called the club or emailed the club and said, oh, I see you book Pat Oates. Well, if you're booking him, I guess you're booking anyone. So might as well book me. But when they saw other people, other comedians at my level get booked, they didn't do that. For some reason, they looked at me and said, well, if that moron can get it, anybody can. They must have forgot other people existed. Hell, I had a roommate when I first started doing comedy and I first got divorced. And when I got booked by a casino for the first time, he literally, instead of saying congrats, he said, oh, they must not know I exist. That's what he said. They must not know this guy. No, they don't know you exist. But even if they did, you wouldn't have got my thing. Fuck you, Ted. But anyway, back to what I'm saying. You shouldn't just now make blanket statements. I hate that. That's where the world is getting to. What happened to special? What happened to people that make it? Michael Jordan makes it and becomes the greatest player ever. Doesn't mean every black child should think that they're going to make it to the NBA. No, you got to work hard. If you work hard, if you you do everything you can and you focus your whole life, you ignore others, you become selfish and you sacrifice everything, happiness, freedom, and everything so you could play a sport fun, then yeah, maybe someday you'll make it. But you'll probably never be them. And Who are the other women that played? Because, like I said, they said Sarah Fuller was the first female to play in a major college football game, a Power Five. That means a woman played in another one, or they wouldn't have said that weird thing. They would have just said first female ever to play in college football. But they didn't say that, did they? No. So what about the other person? Is that like, like Rosa Parks was the first one to be on the bus and then go, I'm going in the front. But then when you read into it, people are like, no, she wasn't the first one. There was another lady, but she wasn't as cool or flashy or whatever. So they got Rosa to do it again. Like that. Like, you forget about the first one. Like the Beatles drummer that wasn't Ringo. And you're like, I don't know, is it Pete Best? I don't know. There's always someone that's always at the asterisk that's out there. Who's that lady? Why? That's who you can be. Well, girls, if you want to, you can play for your Division III shit school in your town and play football for them. They probably don't have anybody playing anyway. But to think you can go play for Vanderbilt? Come on now. They're an SEC school. You're some lady. You're playing soccer. You're not going to – how are you going to go that route? Anyone can do it. Anyone can get a full ride to be a goalie for the major college soccer team, women's soccer team, and then hope that the men's team gets COVID, and then hope that they notice that you can kick, and then hope that you're available to play for them and you have time to learn the plays and kick the ball at a game, and hope that all this happens during your season? All women can do that? All women can do this very specific, narrow thing? No. All people can't do most things. What happened to Special? It's special what she did. I hope she gets a fucking stamp or some bullshit. Give her a stamp. Sarah Fuller stamp. Like that, remember, what was her name? Brandy Chastain or Brittany, whatever she was, the soccer player in the World Cup that she flashed her sports bra and everyone's like, ladies, whatever. But remember when she got famous for a little bit because she flashed her sports bra, which I thought was funny because it was all about women being equal to men and there's athletics being good, but the main thing that got her attention was her sports bra. But I digress. I don't think it was that special. Joe Biden got a hairline fracture in his foot. Yeah, he did. Old ass man was playing with his dogs. I know people are going to make fun of it. I don't know. I think I never really saw a lot of personality from the guy during the debates, and I never really thought anything about him. I like that he's playing with his dog. Now, I personally don't like dogs, but he's got dogs and he's having fun. He's playing. Whatever. He got hurt. He got injured. It happens. People are going to say, like, see, he's so old. He's already breaking down. He's so old that he can't handle it. How's he going to be president if he gets a hairline fracture? Do you know how many fucking presidents are out of shape? Do you know how many presidents in history are gross? How many of these old white men just can't do anything? And to be president, once again, just like the Sarah Fuller thing, it's a special thing, but it also takes a selfishness. It takes a drive. It takes mania. You have to be a crazy person to think you want to be in charge of the country, to think that you can be this thing that controls everyone. To want to be that is insane. So yeah, you're going to ignore things like health and well-being and things like that. Remember when George Bush choked on a pretzel? That motherfucker, remember when he choked on a pretzel? How many times? George Bush was like a fucking running joke to things that happened to him. Remember when he did cocaine at Yale? Yeah, well, he wasn't president then, but he did a lot of cocaine at Yale. But lots of cocaine. So, and I think he was a cheerleader. I know those aren't injuries, but that explains how he handled 9/11. But anyway, what I'm saying is, who cares if Joe Biden got hurt? You know how many other presidents had injuries? Like, look at it. Like, other presidents suffer from injuries. Bush choked on the pretzel. Like I said, Grover Cleveland had gout. He had gout, the king's disease. If you know that, that's when you're eating so poorly of beer and meat that your feet swell up and blood doesn't flow right. He had the gout. He was the president of the United States. He had a cool name like Grover Cleveland, but he had the motherfucking gout. Gout president. William Taft was so fucking fat. He was well over 300 pounds. Then he would fluctuate. He'd lose 100 pounds and he'd gain it back. He was just fat as fuck. That's unhealthy. He's supposed to be leading our country. He's the guy we have to turn to, and they can't give him the fucking jog or fucking eat a little less. We need his health. I'm not worried about a hairline fracture in a foot as much as I am about a guy being 300 pounds with all the pressure in the world and all the stress in the world on that little tiny heart trying to work on that fat tit-filled chest of fucking William Taft. You don't need that at all. I'm a big fat fuck back then. Harding had mental issues that made him fat, which I also like. They didn't. When I looked it up and I checked it 3 times. It wasn't the medication. They said the mental issues caused him to be fat. And I'm like, I've had a lot of mental issues and they've helped me lose weight and stress. But the eating caused me to be fat. The mental issue didn't do it. I didn't eat a mental issue. Ooh, cirrhosis. Whatever it is. I know that's not a mental issue. Whatever. You rant. I'm the Sarah Fuller of this. You're not me. It's fine. He was fat. FDR had polio. polio. Remember that disease? I don't. But when I was a kid, you said that you'd say polio string cheese and laugh because of that polio string cheese, and like then you found out like that wasn't that nice because that string cheese didn't have a crippling disease. But FDR was crippled. You know, I mean, and JFK and Lincoln both had those severe headaches that permanently stayed forever. But what I'm saying is this: Joe Biden is not going to do anything. He's not going to save us. He's not going to become better than anyone else was. We're fucked for a long fucking time. Let's not focus on the fact that he's older. He got his foot hurt. Let the guy try. He can do whatever. We're in this. You voted for him. You didn't vote for him. The thing is this. We all are in America. Can we all remember that at the end of the day? It wasn't the Yankees versus the Red Sox when it was Trump and Biden. It was America needing someone to help us get through our toughest of times. Now, is he the guy? Probably not. I don't think anyone's the guy. I don't think anyone's the girl. I don't think anyone can save. Maybe Sarah Fuller. Maybe Sarah Fuller can save us. Maybe she can come in and kick China through the field goal nets, whatever. Let's give people chances. To attack a guy because he's playing with his dog and he's like almost 80 years old, whatever the fuck he is. Yeah, maybe we should stop electing people that are 80. Maybe we should start saying, you have to be younger and move on, and have the older people be there as counsel. Older people being like the wise counsel, like when you watch like Lord of the Rings and bullshit like that. There's all the old men and they're there to be a counsel. But who's in charge? The young, good-looking one. Let's have young, good-looking ones be in charge. And then put the old people there to talk to them, to cuddle them in and say, hey, when you're talking about this, here's 3 dudes who know all about war. Here's 3 dudes who know about finance. Here's 3 dudes who all know about healthcare. And I'm sorry, dudes or dudettes. When I'm saying it, I don't mean gender. I'm just saying help them out, have people there, and then just have them be the face. Why have them be an 80-year-old face? An 80-year-old face that when they run with their dog named Major, a German Shepherd, they could hairline fracture their fucking foot and then get ridiculed and then make us look weak to other countries we already look weak against. I thank you so much for checking out the first POP, whatever this is, trending, whatever name I'll come up with it. Please subscribe, like I said. Listen to me every weekend on WPLR. You can find that on the 991 PLR FM app or streaming at WPLR.com. It's a classic rock station. I play music and then say dumb things in between. I thank you guys so much for checking this out, and tune in tomorrow for another wonderful episode of whatever the fuck this is, the Pat Oates Podcast. You're welcome.